afternoon, Nkosi Talk Shows family. Is Namsa here at Nkosi Talk Shows. Find your own voice lead from within. So with me today, I'm with Amanda Murray and Claudia Pasa. How are you guys?
Very good. And you? Yeah, same.
Amanda, she's ready for Valentine's Day, guys. And if you are a guy who is lovely, well cultured, successful, she's single, and she's dressed to go for nail. It's a Valentine's Day on Saturday.
Yeah, it's mostly just because my students are celebrating their Valentine's Day today because they're in grade 5 and they're so cute at this age.
Awesome, awesome. So the topic today is self-love is the foundation of every great love story. So Valentine's Day can be beautiful, but it can also trigger questions, memories, silence pain, especially if love has disappointed you or if you've been giving your heart to people who didn't know how to hold it. Today, we're going to share with you the part of you that is tired, the part of you. We're going to talk to the part of you that is tired of chasing love, tired of proving your worth, tired of pouring into everyone else while feeling empty inside. Because listen, self-love is not vanity, it's not selfish, it's not I don't need anyone. Self-love is the foundation of every great love story. So Amanda, you chose this topic. Would you mind to share with our audience what was on your mind when you thinking about Valentine's Day?
Well, for me, because I teach elementary school, I was just thinking we should focus on something that's around like feeling love within yourself and sharing and spreading kindness to others because we are not really talking about romantic love in elementary school. We're talking about like just being kind to our friends and to sharing kindness with others. And so even yesterday, during I have like a little body break in the afternoon with the kids, and it's not their gym time, but my class is very bouncy, so they need to like get outside when we can or like have a little movement break. And so I took them out and we made 2 circles on the field, and they passed the football and they passed the soccer ball, and when they passed it, they had to pass it to somebody else and say something kind about them. And so we just like passed the ball around and said something kind. And we just did it for a couple minutes, and then we switched because one ball group had the football and one group had a soccer ball. It's I live in Canada, so football's like the the NFL type of football. And then the soccer ball is like what you guys would call football. Um, but anyways, we passed those back and forth and just said something kind about our classmates. And I said, like Valentine's Day is coming up. It's not really at this age, especially for like romantic type of love. It's about like spreading kindness. And when do you have a chance to be kind? And when do you have a chance to like really even be kind to yourself? And so how often is your brain saying like, oh, I suck at this, or I'm not good at math, or I did really bad on that test, or my parents are going to be mad at me because I did bad on that project. um, when are you like saying like, hey, I did this good? And I was like, everybody in our class has unique strengths and weaknesses, and we need to celebrate our strengths sometimes, and sometimes we forget to celebrate our strengths because we're so worried on like catching up in areas that we don't feel like we're super successful in. And so I was like, sometimes it's really important that we just like share those things that make us shine. And so even like one of the kids that's like kind of like struggles a lot, like one of the things that they did, they passed to him and they're like, you're really kind, right? And another kid that struggles a lot, they're like, I like that you like frogs and I like frogs too, right? Like it's just like it's so sweet, some of the things that they say. And so I really think like when we can help teach kids how to like love themselves, it's just like that building blocks foundation so that they become like better functioning adults and hopefully don't end up in unhealthy relationships as they grow older.
Mm.
Well, that's where my topic piece came from.
Absolutely. And I love this, that being able as well to teach this already as well, the young generation, because when I grew up in the 80s, it didn't exist, this type of awareness and the motivation as well from the elderly, including the teachers as well. It was just a different time, but luckily we are evolving and it's more and more common today, because as well, you know, if we get this already from a very young age, it is going to help us in our lives big time, so we don't need to wait until it was with me. I was turning 30 and even 40 years, and only then I understood a bit more the self-concept about self-love and so on. And obviously I'm still learning, it's a process, okay, but I really like the idea of giving this information already to the young ones.
Yeah, that's I actually agree with you, guys. It's important uh, to actually spread love, but love you have to spread it every day, 365 days a year. I like this topic because self-love is important. Sometimes, like most Christians, they debate when it comes to self-love that why do you have to be all about me, me, me? But the thing is, if I don't love me, I can't love you. That is simple and straightforward. If I don't know the meaning of love, if I can't love myself, there's no way that I can love anyone. So that is why self-love is important. Even God, He teaches us to love ourselves. And then when you love yourself, um, you are able to love others. You are able to love Him because He teaches us how to love. So I think those are very, very important. I like Amanda's school teaching the younger ones um, how to love, because the children, the things that they like you, the things that you teach them as a teacher, the words that you say to them, they play a very, very big, important part in their lives. I've seen it with my children. Sometimes the teachers will say good things and they hold on to that. And yeah, love is important, guys. Is the foundation of every great love story. Before I learned to love myself, I find it difficult to love others. Others suffered. People suffered because I didn't know how to love myself. If I can ask them, they will tell me that, yes, Nomsa, we suffered. The people that I've dated suffered because I didn't know how to love myself.
One of the things that also like triggered my wanting to speak about this today is saw this on Instagram, and I'll just kind of show it to you guys. And I'll read it to you. It just says happy chemicals and how to produce them. And it says dopamine, the reward chemical, celebrating small wins, eating good food, getting enough sleep, practicing self-care, listening to music, achieving a goal. And then oxytocin, the love hormone, playing with a pet, spending time with friends, helping others, giving compliments, hugging someone you love, and holding hands. Serotonin, the mood stabilizer, meditating, deep breathing, getting some sun, walking in nature, positive thinking, and running. And endorphins, the pain reliever, laughing, exercising, stretching, watching a comedy, being creative, and eating dark chocolate. And I was just like, this is such a good like little like overview of if you're like, oh, I'm struggling with something, you can like look at this and be like, okay, what can I do? What is it that I need? Do I need to go for a run? Do I need to meditate? Because mood off, like what things from my mood can I go and switch and like fix, and what, like, here's a quick little list. If I'm like not feeling some self-love, okay, I can play with my pet, I can spend time with my friends, right? If I need some dopamine, the reward chemical, it's like eat good food, getting enough sleep, like those are the things that are going to help build those positive chemicals in your body. And so I think that's something that's really important that we don't always forget when we're like how do I self-love? How do I self-love, right? Like they say like, oh, we need self-love. You need to have self-love before you can love somebody else properly. You need to have self-love, but nobody's like, here's a handbook on how self-love, right? Here's what you do. But I thought that list was so great because it's a really simple list of like, okay, try these things. When you feel like these are the things that are missing in your life, how often are you doing more of these things to try to level out those happy hormones in your body? And I think that's something that's really important.
And the thing is as well, what I realized, I mean, obviously we are here to experience all sorts of love, you know, like the love for ourselves, the love for the husband or the wife, the parent, the child, the pets as well, the friends. So basically, this is why we are actually here. So, and reflecting as well back on the situations, you know, the things which come up with people or the circumstances, you know, like the reflection with people we are having, if we are, yeah, just like, looking at them, they lead always to self-love, you know, like how are we being with ourselves in this particular situation or event, circumstances, what have just happened in our life, you know, and how are we being with ourselves.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, guys. And you know, when you love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, you keep accepting what is draining you in your life, and you keep shrinking your standard just to keep someone happy or to keep someone. But when you truly, truly choose yourself, for me, I chose God first. I choose God first and then choose myself because I know that God directs me, teaches me how to love myself and then how to love people around me. And also when you heal, when you learn the boundaries, because learning the boundaries are very, very important. When you learn your boundaries, when you heal, then you are able to rebuild your identity and your love changes as well, how you feel around people around you, not because you find the perfect person, but because you become that kind of a woman or kind of a man that's no longer negotiate his values or your values. And so it's, I think, um, whether you're single or dating or married, healing from heartbreak, simple rebuilding your confidence. I think that's why we are all sharing this message. Like Amanda, she's at school and sharing how they'll be today. They'll be playing love with the children, and I think that helps as well because not every child comes from a family that loves them. Some parents have shut down. Um, some parents they are loving and caring, but so we come from different children come from different families. So I think when you go to a school like that, when you have uh parents, like you have teachers that helps you, that loves you, and they make you feel at home. It's like it's important, like with my children, they go to school, they come home and they'll be like, oh, I'm doing this, my teacher, we've arranged to do this. And it shows that these people, they are not just teachers, they just love what they do. So I think that is really, really important. And thank you, Amanda, for being a good teacher. So I'm gonna over to you, Amanda.
I don't know what. Sorry, my computer was being weird. Yeah, I think like teaching, especially the self-love stuff, is really important because we, like you were saying, Claudia, we weren't taught that when we were kids. We weren't taught how to increase the happy hormones in our body, right? We weren't taught to, when we are like completely overstimulated, maybe just to like focus on our breath and learn how to breathe. because we didn't have any of the tools. And now that we do, it's how can we like help the next generation be better, right? And then even I like when I look at lots of people, I'm like, we're just like adult children. We still have our triggers. We still have our things that are going to bring us to tears. We still have our things that like instantly make you angry, right? Driving. um, but like, how is it, can we like take a step back from those situations and like learn to self-regulate? Because learning how to regulate your emotions is such a like a good tool. And it's interesting, I was listening to this thing the other day and it said the best teachers aren't the ones who have the most degrees or who have the most knowledge about a topic. They're the ones who can read a room, because they can read the room and see what the students need and they
I have to
adapt
write this
based,
down, Amanda. That's so powerful.
based on what the students are needing. And I was making actually a little TikTok video. I haven't edited it yet. About this exact topic of like what makes great teachers and what I had heard. And we're in my class, we're talking about this super teacher project where this teacher was a robot, but they didn't know he was a robot. He's like this AI. And then he ends up being the most popular teacher at the school because he like really starts taking on like teenage characteristics, which the like engineers didn't expect the AI to do. And then eventually they're going to shut down the AI and like get rid of him because he's like not doing what he's supposed to be doing. But it's a really funny book. And so then we talk about like what characteristics would like a good robot teacher have and what strengths would they have and what weaknesses would they have. And then my kids like drew their robot teachers. Only like in the book the teacher looks like a human, but in their versions they're like drawing them like an actual robot, and it's really cute. And I was saying in the one that I need to edit about how good teachers are able to actually like read the room, and I don't think a robot could necessarily do that. They're like there to teach the content. And how even like administrators need to be able to do that too, because I've even like called out administrators on that. And I had an administrator years ago, we were doing this ridiculous professional development. We all had a ton of other work to do on report cards and everything else, and it was like a Friday right before Christmas break, and we spent like 2 hours doing the stupidest PD you could ever imagine. And at the end you wrote an exit slip of like what you learned today, and my exit slip said, when are we going to get time to do real work? And so the principal came to me and was like, how would you feel if somebody wrote this on your exit slip or like expressed that they didn't like your lesson? I was like, I would seriously consider my task, was my answer, because I was like, can you not read the room? Everyone in this room has so much other work to do, and you're making us sit here for 2 hours doing this stuff that has nothing to do with what actually needs to get done, and it's not helping us at all. So I would read the room and I would adjust my lesson to support the people in that room, because I would look at it as like, is this task necessary? Is it part of the curriculum? That's really important, that if I don't teach this part, or if I don't get to it, or if I condense it, are the kids going to be screwed later on in life? If they're not going to be screwed later on in life, I'm going to adjust to the needs of my classroom. And she like took a step back and was like, point taken, right? Because you need to be able to support the people based on what's showing up in their life right now. If I have a kid who comes in from the morning and is bawling their eyes out because their dog just died, I'm not going to make them write the math test. They're not writing the math test that day, right? Because they're not going to do well on it. I'm going to be like, you don't have to write this today. You can write it any other day once you've had some time to like reset. When the rest of the class is writing the math test, you can draw me a picture. When you feel ready, you can write the math test, because you don't have to write it today. Your dog just died, right? Like, we need to be able to understand that even with when we have the greatest plan, it's not going to go to plan the way we want it to. And I think that's part of our self-love journey too, is learning. You're like, I've got all of these things to do, but then you're like feeling completely overwhelmed and stressed. And it's like, maybe you take a step back and think, what do I need to do for myself today that's going to help me feel grounded, that's going to help me feel like I'm working towards my goals, that's going to help me be the best version of myself. And sometimes the best version of yourself looks different each and every day. Sometimes the best version of yourself when you're sick is just getting up and making yourself hot lemon tea and like honey and going back to bed and reading a book because you feel like complete garbage, right? And then other days, the best version of yourself is like coming on a podcast and writing a blog entry and getting a bunch of work done and cleaning your house, and you go to the gym and you get all of that done in one day, right? But the other days you can't, because the best version of yourself is literally just trying to survive. And if you can be kind to yourself on those days that you're just trying to survive, that's, I think, one of the keys to like true self-love, is to be kind to yourself and show yourself self-love on those days that you're really struggling.
Absolutely. I did work the other week with a client, and she's a mom, and she had this reflection that the baby is quite young, and the baby is just crying all over the place, all over the time, and mom is exhausted, and she did not know how to be with it, and then just like by talking or listening to her, I had the insight of, next time when the baby cries, and obviously you as the mom, you understand if it's an attention crying, and yeah, you just know. But next time, I said, if it's a cry and it's about intention and so on, like just pause for a moment, just see if there is, or if there's something, or what it is you can do in this very moment first for you. It could be just like, I don't know, to apply a little spritz of perfume or some hand cream, make yourself a cup of tea. Don't finish it, but like just to make something for you first, pause, and then you go over to the baby, because turned out the baby was a reflection for mom to show her as well that she dropped everything in this particular moment and ran off to the baby. Okay, but these are obviously, we were just like fine-tuning and just like bringing in some awareness on how this affects you as well, like all these fine little moments. And how does it look for you as well when someone is, like shows you some urgency in your life, and then you drop everything and just run off without actually looking at this very moment first for you, on you, at you, so that you then from a bit more neutral place can go to this particular situation that is calling for your attention. Does it make sense, this example, Amanda, in regards to self-love? How I dismantled it with the mother, the client, and after that, she did say as well, the baby was crying less, because in the end, it was a lesson for mom to practice some self-love on herself. Yeah. So that's my contribution in regards to how to pause, to stop, and to see, like in this, just like in the situations as well that we are finding ourselves in, how we can actually be right now that shows us self-love, and as well what you mentioned earlier as well, what's the self-talk, what is the kind of self-talk we give and have with ourselves when particular things are going on in our lives too, yeah?
Yeah, as you were talking, it made me think of this book. It's called How Yoga Empowered My Life. And I co-authored this. There's 9 different women who wrote their stories of how like yoga basically like pulled them out of the struggle that they were having, or was like a big contribution to pulling them out of the struggle that they were having in their life. And each story is all about like that journey of like learning where to pause, learning where to be like, I can take a step back, learning where to like, I love myself unconditionally right now, or meditation was the answer. I'm just like finding some of the quotes that, because in the book there's like bigger quotes. It says, it made me question why learning to breathe is not taught elsewhere. You can see if I can find one. My physical body needed me to be present with my full attention. So just like all of these like lessons people were learning about self-love through their journey with yoga. And it's reading everybody's stories. I just was like always amazed at what everybody overcame to get to the place that they're at. And I think sometimes when we are in a like self-loathing place, we think we're the only ones. We think that we're the only ones stuck there who has had all of these like crappy things happen in our lives. Or our question is like, why me? What did I do to deserve this situation? And I always like flip those questions, or those like self-loathing questions, into like, what is this meant to teach me? How is this lesson right now going to help me be a better version of myself down the road? How is what's happening right now going to help me become stronger, going to help me be a better mom, going to help me be a better teacher, going to help me be a better partner whenever I meet my partner, right? And so I think sometimes our like self-love story is like learning how to not repeat the lessons that you've had in the past. And then also, how do you take those lessons and like, instead of looking at your past as like this like trauma that you had to overcome, look at it as like your greatest lessons that you are like growing and evolving from, because I think we're truly evolving each and every day. And as we evolve, we level up our energy, and we attract more people that have that like more positive energy. And if you're choosing to stay stuck, you're going to stay stuck for a long time, right? But if you choose today to shift and to go on a self-love journey, then you're going to like open more doors and have to close some other ones, because that journey is going to be of like shutting the doors that are no longer serving you and opening the doors that are going to serve you. And so if you're struggling with like an addiction or something, one of the things that they say with addiction is to start to replace that addiction with something else. So if you go to the bar every night, then like, what is it that you can change that you do every night instead? So can you change that not so positive habit into a positive one? So maybe you shift it to like going to the gym, or going to yoga, or meeting a friend, or like joining a band, or I don't know, something that's going to fill that time, because you can't just like quit something cold turkey without replacing it with something else, because that's way, way harder just to quit. And so how are you going to fill that like void that the addiction was filling with something else that's going to help you grow and open that door? And you may have to close other doors with certain people and with certain places, because you're trying to level up your life.
Yeah. And with the void, and sometimes, I mean, yes, it comes with an addiction, like different things. It doesn't even have to be hard addiction or strong and so on, but we feel like something a bit like compulsive. So the thing is as well that you can ask yourself is, what is underneath what you actually desire, you know, like when you go to, did we say, I mean, addiction, okay, the bar, you know, yeah, let's do the bar situation. So what actually is underneath the desire? What does, yeah, what do you actually crave underneath the situation that you feel like you have to go to the bar, you know, like, yes. So that's the thing as well. We want to find out, you know, like, why is it that you think that you want to be doing these certain things that are sometimes not very, yeah, constructive as well for us, you know, like trying to find the underneath the desire. And then obviously good idea as well to substitute this as well with something else a bit more healthy than what you've been doing so far. Yeah. Yes. And where can you make yourself a priority, you know, like where can you already do it? It doesn't have to be, you don't need to change your whole life in a short time, but like just to start asking yourself, where can you already make yourself a priority? And we all have different areas as well in life, you know, it's the family, it's the relationship, it's work, it's the physical area as well. So where can you already slowly bring in some non-negotiables that you decide you are going to set some time on a particular day in this area that is just for you, and you are not going to budge, not for anyone, unless it's an emergency or something, you know. Yeah. So this is, so where actually are you going to show commitment towards yourself? Because the thing is as well, you know, if you start to bring those little new changes slowly in, that you commit to something only for yourself and you are not going to change this appointment or the thing you are going to do, this is as well going to be reflected in the outside world, you know. How can people commit to yourself? People, you know, like, again, the partner, the family, work, and so on, you know, like, how can they commit to yourself if you are not able to commit to yourself, you know? Because I'm a big believer of the world outside is the reflection of you, you know? So basically, things that you feel like they are doing to you is on some level you are doing to yourself on one or another area in your life, and commitment is one of them. And the thing is as well, in regards to self-love, I recently actually I understood, you know, how can we, when we only have a certain percentage of self-love towards ourselves, obviously we start at some stage with bringing those actions in so that we can fill up the cup for self-love toward us. So we could be with a percentage 10, 20, 30, and then the percentage is going to get more as well, okay? But if you are currently stuck at 34% self-love toward yourself, that means the outside world can only show you the same amount, only 34% of self-love toward yourself. So by understanding this, finally, it really clicked in me that everything outside is a perfect match of me inside, including as well the self-love and the percentage. So by me understanding this, finally, I got the aha moment. Came naturally as well that I'm bringing more and more things into the different areas as well of my life on how to be with me, kind with myself, and how to make myself a priority. So what's one thing that you do in regards to self-love as well?
I think that piece about making yourself a priority, especially for women, is so important because we are always like, give, 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 right? Like most of the women that I know are like, give, 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 and they forget to give themselves something back, right? And all of the people who are like, not in a relationship for Valentine's Day, what can you like give to yourself in these days that are going to like be like, hey, I'm being the best version of myself? And so I always try to set aside like my thing for myself is going to the gym. And so I try to make sure that no matter what my week looks like, I get to the gym 5, 6, 7 times a week. Or I go to yoga, right? Or I'm skiing or hiking or something. So if I'm not at the gym, I'm getting exercise almost every single day. There's a very rare day that I don't make sure that I spend at least an hour on myself doing that because that's something that's really important to me. That's my like self-love piece, right? And my daughter's like, why do you have to go to the gym? I'm like, even if I just walk around the track for 45 minutes, that's the piece that I just need for myself. I just need that little bit of time out of my day to just spend time focusing on like making my body move and feeling better. And so I think that's something that we like really we like look at all the things that we have to do in a day. And if you look at all the things that you have to do in a day, what's one thing that you're truly doing for yourself? And yours might be, I just want to read a book for 20 minutes. Just want to sit down and read in silence for 20 minutes. And that's going to be really fulfilling for me. Or maybe I just want to um, draw or color, or I want to go try something new. Like, what is it that's going to fill your cup a little bit each and every day that you're doing just only for yourself? Like, do you have something, Claudia, that you do just for yourself each and every day? Like mine is exercise. So, and I read every day too. And I try to journal at least once a week, but I'm not, I used to journal every single day, but I kind of fallen off that wagon for a little bit. And I'll go back. I always am like ups and downs with my journaling where I like journal every single day for an entire year. And then I stop. And it's like a tool that I use at different points in time, depending on what I'm needing. And right now I don't feel like I need the journaling as much, but I definitely am enjoying the like making sure that I exercise.
But to me, it's walking with the dog, like nature. And I can feel the difference if I walk him in town where it's busy, and I can feel the energy as well at some stage, just like too many people around compared to choosing to walk him we've got like a deserted golf course as well in my area. So just like deserted, not many people around, and then just to be with nature. So that's something I really appreciate. Yeah, and do basically every day as well with him. Sometimes, obviously, if it's busy, I don't get to go to the nature place. I still walk him, but I can feel the difference as well. If it's a walk in town with the cars and the people compared to the nature place, definitely I prefer the nature place big time. The gym I do too, but the gym, I have to say, the motivation with the gym is just more, I don't know, it's a bit more I have to do it compared to the walk in nature. It's like I really enjoy, and it's really beautiful. The gym, it feels more like a task. This actually as well, why it is important for us to have a passion/hobby that I don't really have currently, because obviously, just like the gym is not my passion/hobby. I do it because I want to look after me, and walking the dog is as well something I do every day. Is not passion/hobby, but when I did understand as well, when we find something we are really passionate about, just look at people who do sports and they're really passionate about, you can feel, the energy of them as well, like how it radiates, okay? And then you can see as well, like sometimes people, they just have to function in life and they do everything just because it's an obligation, and you can as well compare their energy. But if we can find something, just one little thing, and actually something I would love to try in late springtime, it's a choir. There's a choir and they sing like rock music, you know, like all this good feel songs, and that's something I feel drawn to attend when they start again the next round. So passion/hobby makes a big difference as well in regards to your energy field. Just the word passionate says that, it gives us already out, you know, and that's something that is not your job as well. It's nothing you're getting paid for, that you're already good at. No, I don't mean that. It's something, you know, a craft, a hobby is something you like to spend your time and you really feel passionate about it. And this will give you actually as well a very good boost of energy and top up as well your self-love levels, which we always want, because again, what I earlier said, this is when the outside world, including as well your kids and your partner and so on, you'd be surprised as well how it's going to be reflected back to you when you put in first inside of you into the cup. Yes, and Valentine's Day coming up, you said earlier, you know, like this love thing. I mean, what I like about is it's this collective consciousness thing, you know, it's talked about everywhere. It's even a date in the calendar, you know, 14th of February, they talk about love and so on. So yes, I like the collective consciousness and the collective energy about it. So we feel it too, you know, and and what is something that you can already give to you today that you don't need to rely on the partner, that you get that certain thing or feeling or experience as well from them? So instead, what is something that you could already be doing to yourself, or a way how you can be with yourself, that you already get a bit of this beauty, you know, like this sweet feeling and being cherished and being desired as well, that you don't need to rely on the partner giving that particular thing to you? So do you have like a ritual Valentine's Day? If there's something?
I've always had like little things that I do for my daughter, because I've been divorced since she was 2. And so mine is like more just like celebrating my love for my daughter and my friends. And so this year, actually, usually I just go to the gym and like do something for my kid. But this year it's a family day long weekend here in Canada. And so we are actually going skiing with friends for the weekend. So we'll
Beautiful.
have a great weekend. Yeah, yeah, I'm super excited to get out of the city and spend 2 days on the ski hill, and we're renting a cabin with some friends, and so it'll be a really great, just like self-love weekend of like spending time with friends and getting out in nature.
Yeah, this sounds amazing. This is beautiful, absolutely. And again, you know, as I said as well before, I like to take the collective energy about it, you know, and then as well, just like to amplify it a bit more, because it does help, you know. Yeah, just like to take it as it's already out there in the shops, you know, the cards and the chocolates and everything, you know, like pink and ribbons on and Valentine's edition and so on. Just like, yeah, beautiful to take that and to, yeah, amplify and to take that energy as well into you. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay, let me just check. So we did say the topic was like in regards to foundation of every great love story. So absolutely. Yeah.
I think the problem with the love story is that our brains automatically go to like romantic love and intimacy.
Yeah,
And I
Disney,
could flip that
Disneyland.
switch a little bit, flip that narrative a little bit to like self-love is the foundation of every great love story. And that love story might just be about learning to love yourself, or learning to love the life that you've created for yourself, or learning to love who you've become and not let your past trauma continue to be your story. And so I think when we're looking at self-love as the foundation of a love story, we need to rethink what a love story means, because it doesn't always mean a romantic relationship. That
Absolutely.
love story means self-love for your children and what you've built for them, self-love for yourself and how you pulled yourself out of such a dark space. And so our love stories all look different, and it might not be one that's like the fairy tale that you see on TV. And I think that's the most important lesson to learn is a love story doesn't necessarily mean an intimate love story or a romantic love story. A love story can also be the love that you have for your children, for yourself, for the life that you've created for yourself that doesn't even involve a romantic type of love.
Yes, okay, I see. Yes, okay, yeah, absolutely. Self-love at the foundation of every great love story. And then again, like we are here to experience love in all different ways in its facets as well. And it's not just that, I mean, just looking at the heart as well, our hearts are the biggest electromagnetic field we have in our body. So just like even this is designed as well for us to be there. Yeah, just like, and to have this love. I mean, yeah. So in regards to, again, it's a journey, and and again, it's self-love too, that we don't expect that we are going to shift, like so fast with everything, because it's been a bit of a journey so far as well for all of us, but like to understand how we can already today just bring in some more things or situations or times we want to spend certain things as well, or times we want to spend as well by ourselves, how we can already start today to bring these moments into our daily and busy lives. Because sometimes people are not even used to doing this, right? I mean, you are very busy, you are a parent, and then as well in a relationship or not a relationship, but we all have work going on and all these other things as well in life that we are not even taught, or we don't even think about self-love or to make time for us. It wouldn't even cross our mind, okay? But if we can take today at least this on, how we can already start to take a few things on and make space into our day-to-day lives. I mean, daily as well. It can be something small, but daily would be good, because again, it's about building the new habit, and this happens with repetition as well, how does this personal look for you?
Yeah, I think that's really important, is how do you want, and then I think too, if you are looking for romantic love, once you fill that self-love cup, it's going to attract itself to you.
Yeah, absolutely. As well, again, because the romantic partner or the potential new romantic partner what it is you're going to attract is only going to match you. It can't, like it can't be more than what it is that you are going to willing to put as well into you. So just like have this in mind as well. Yeah, I mean, okay, so we got like a few things. Anything else from your side, Amanda? Just like final thing, Valentine's Day coming up. Huh?
Well, I definitely think there's some people who really struggle with Valentine's Day, which is why I thought this was an important topic to have around self-love. And so if you are one of those people who really struggle with Valentine's Day because you don't have a romantic partner in your life, I want you just to look at all of the areas that you have built self-love for yourself and built a like loving, caring environment for you to be in, and be proud of yourself. Be proud of what you've built for yourself, and take some steps to just really build self-love on that day. What is it that you can do on that day that's going to help you ignore the fact that you're feeling like you're missing that one piece in your life?
Yes. Yes, because again, self-love applies as well to all different areas we find ourselves in our lives, not just, the relationship area, the marriage, it's all areas. And as well, what I said before, if there's something what you really desire from the relationship, just see how can you give this particular thing or feeling, emotion, whatever it is, already to yourself. Because when you do this work, you give this already today to yourself, then you already feel kind of a bit more fulfilled in this particular area with this feeling or emotion, and then it's not like a red flag you are sending out to them, so this is as well, again, how can you already give this particular thing you desire to yourself? Because again, we give things to ourselves first. This is why it's called self first. And then you'd be surprised as well that you then can go out and you attract a person, and they are even able as well and capable to give you even more, but it's only as well because you don't feel such a lack inside you, That's the thing as well. We don't want to go out there and feel lack of certain things, feelings, and so on, because lack is only going to be matched as well. Then you attract someone as well, and they feel lack as well in regards to themselves and their lives and their emotions and so on. And this is not really a good match. So yes, that would be like my thing for this week. How can you give this particular feeling already to yourself, like this cherishing or desire as well? And there are ways. Just be creative. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you as well, Amanda, today for today's wisdom and sharing as well with us. And we are here Monday to Friday at 1 p.m. UK time. And just like any questions, just please ask us. And just happy to see you tomorrow again at 1 o'clock here on Nukicia Talk Show, and thank you everyone for watching.